So much has gone wrong in Rhaenyra's very short reign, and I just want to talk about what I would have done, starting from before she even had her kids, to set myself up for success if I were anticipating inheriting the Iron Throne. So let's get into it. First, and I feel like this is super obvious, I never would have gotten pregnant with Sir Harwin Strong baby. Like, you have access to moon tea and you were not taking it when you were sleeping with this knight you're not married to. And I've been seeing some people float around that Harwin Strong is actually married. We just never see his wife and his kids because they're off on like at Harrenhal. I don't quote me on that, but if that's true, that is foul. That is foul on the part of Sir Harwin Strong, but also Rhaenyra. Okay. Anyway, I still would have married Lenor, okay? Even though knowing his proclivities, could not, you know, have a happy marriage, but I'm sure that that relationship is not the only type of that's not the only lavender marriage in Westeros. How are the other people handling it? Now, I'm going to say something that's not politically correct, but in the world of Game of Thrones, you're going to have to suck it up and have that kid. I'm sorry. Or just don't get married. You have to figure something out. Okay? Moving on from there, say I still had my illegitimate kids with Sir Harwin Strong, right? I would not be leaving my home, the Red Keep, to hide my kids off on Dragonstone. It shows you're ashamed of them, but also you're allowing your enemies, the Greens, to have complete control over the court in your absence, especially as your father, Viserys, is getting sick. He's getting sicker. He's looking disgusting. I think they said that some necromancer was keeping him alive. Come on. What? And in his absence, whenever he's bedbound, it is Sir Otto Hightower, your enemy, the dude who married your best friend to your father when she was like 14, sitting the throne. Rhaenyra should have never left. That was the opportune time as your father's heir to be there and showing your leadership skills and taking control, preparing yourself to rule Westeros. Because when it finally came time for her to rule, when she finally wrested control over the Red Keep, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She doesn't know how to listen to the petitioners. She doesn't know how to run the household. She doesn't know how to do a lot of things. Another problem, the money is all gone. Now, I'm not going to say that's all her fault because clearly the Lannisters had a plan there as the master of coin to steal that money away. However, if you were present, if Damon was present, you could have possibly intercepted the Lannisters or, had the master of whispers report to you and tell you what was going on so you could save that gold so that when you finally took over the throne, you were not bankrupting the realm. But on that same note, currently their plan, and this was Mycerys's plan, was to pin the blame on a new master of coin instead of solving the problem. Now, the master of coin, of course, doesn't know he was only hired to be the scapegoat. He recommends to institute a tax. And they don't want to do this because they feel like the common folk are going to be upset about it. Of course, they're going to be upset about it. But it's better than being broke, and it would be temporary. I'm not an expert at ruling a realm, but after the temporary tax, I don't know, maybe some kind of tax abatement once you find all the missing gold. Maybe that could have been a plan, but nope. They're making enemies out of the new master of coin and also House Valerian, their strongest ally. I would have immediately confirmed Corliss's sons as legitimate. It would have harmed nothing to do this. They've done so much. They've led her ships. They've given their granddaughters as future wives of Rhaenyra's children until they died. And then one of them is even riding the dragon. He gave them the idea that the bastards could ride dragons and bolster Rhaenyra's army. And she goes and says she's not going to legitimize them because people are going to speculate about her because she has bastard sons. Honestly, that was a huge mistake on her part. And if I were Lord Corlys, I wouldn't even feel bad about abandoning her side at that point. Yeah, he's lost so much. He's lost his wife. He's lost his son. Like, he's lost so much to Rhaenyra's cause. And because of Rhaenyra, he's kind of in too deep and maybe like felt like he couldn't go back. I would have abandoned it because that insult would not stand. Rhaenyra is just ridiculous. Then, on top of that, she does not listen to the counsel of her husband. Now, you could say a lot about Damon. Damon is violent, he's not trustworthy. However, when he told her she needs to pay the city watchman like immediately, she should have listened. Whenever there's a regime change, there's going to be violence, not even taking into account that the high towers were sending like their little cult members throughout the city to murder people and to destabilize Rhaenyra's reign. The city watch should have been paid. These people were loyal to you and they helped her keep the throne because when she and Damon came into the Red Keep, they were confronted by, I believe, the Kingsguard. They were going to fight. They were going to fight to keep everything under the control of the Greens. The City Watch came and backed them up. And you're not going to pay them? You're not going to pay them. Lord. And then the City Watch starts getting murdered. And Rhaenyra does nothing to assist in finding the person walking through the streets. She's more concerned about who is writing stuff on walls, denouncing her. Lord. Lord. Another issue, she should have brought her counsel from Dragonstone over to the Red Keep. The one she has at the Red Keep is functionally kind of useless. Now, I'm not going to even pin it on them entirely. It's just Rhaenyra doesn't know how to listen. She listens to Mysaria too much, and everyone else she seems deaf to. Mysaria doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She's a terrible master of whispers. The one whisper she actually heard that she discovered herself that Helena was pregnant, she didn't even bring to Rhaenyra. So what are you doing? I was like, please, Laris. Even though Laris is crazy and evil, he at least was doing his job right. I need Laris to come back and be Rhaenyra's master of whispers. I would fire Mysaria and honestly, maybe get one of the city watchmen to be the master of whispers because this is ridiculous. Second of all, her hand, just going back to Lord Corlys, her hand is not present anymore. Your hand is not present anymore. And you don't think that's a red flag. You don't think you need to keep your hand happy. And people see this. People see your hand is not present. And it just goes to show just how shitty of a ruler you are. So he leaves one of his sons behind to be the new hand, right? The son that you refuse to legitimize. And I'm not shitting on him. He's doing fine. Adam of Hull. Is it Adam? Oh God. One of the Hulls. He is doing fine, but he was obviously not raised for this position. You need to grab someone loyal to you who can come and actually help you rule this place. On top of that, she has allowed the High Towers to occupy Tumbleton. Now, I understand she can't storm the place with her dragons and burn everyone because that's not a good look, but she can send spies or something in there other than that one guy she sent that Gwaine peeped was not who he said he was, and he ended up murdering before he could assassinate um Ormond. That was kind of a playful kind of trickery. She dressed that guy up in like foul smelling clothes just to get on Ormond's nerves. She should have. She just has no stealth. She has no finesse as a ruler. Like, my God. My God. Then she sends Alicent off to kill her own son, right? With just one guard. Why did you let this guard expose himself? Okay. Yes, it could have like maybe leave him there because it wouldn't have made sense for Alicent to make it all that way by herself on the road, unmolested. However, send a second guard in the background. Harrenhal is so spacious, they would not have seen that guy sneaking. Once Alicent poisoned Aemon and he was weakened, that dude could swoop in and finish the job. Just so many freaking missteps. Also, I think I would have let Rhaena keep Sheep Stealer after I calmed down about her being the reason why my son is gone. I would have let Rhaena keep Sheep Stealer. Sheep Stealer cannot live with other dragons, however, because he has no home training. Sheep Stealer could stay, I don't know, wild, and Rhaena could ride back and forth visiting or whatever. But guess what? Now I have another dragon on my side. The dragon does not fight well with others, so Rhaena gonna have to fight by herself. So I may be able to kill two birds with one stone. Then finally, the nobles of King's Landing. She insults them by serving them rats for dinner as a way of making fun of them for keeping food from the common folk and hoarding it within their homes. Yes, they were wrong for that, but there is a tactful way of handling people that she seems to think she's exempt from. She thinks just because she's queen, she can do whatever she wants. In a way, she's correct. In another way, she's not. These people, you need their support to keep the throne, or else they'll overthrow you, especially since the Greens are presenting Darren as the rightful heir to the throne now that they think Aegon and Aemond are gone. It is just it's just so hard to watch because I'm fully on Rhaenyra's side that she is the heir to the throne, but she is not the right person for the throne. Lord. And the fact that this whole thing is the reason why the dragons go extinct, at least for several hundred years until Daenerys' time, just gets on my last damn nerve. Like, it didn't have to go down like this. Anyway, don't forget to hit that follow button. Let me know what you thought, and I'll be back soon.